Wishing the tournament were the reason for my uneasiness, I propped my staff on my knees and gripped it tightly. Orphan raised his immaculate blade with lethal precision and pointed it at my nose. Practice will soothe your nerves. I stood no chance of winning against Orphan, but I could at least forget the burden of my thoughts as we sparred. After losing to Orphan, I fought Maddock and won, but he bested me in archery immediately afterward. I had never known one could sweat so liberally when the air was cold enough to redden skin, but we were all dripping with it. I took a break to watch Anthony and Weston's sword fight, listening to the music of their parrying and grunting. Abandoning my brooding for a time, I sat mesmerized by their violent dance, struggling to drag my eyes away from the bulk of Anthony's arms and shoulders. I focused instead on the footwork, but found my gaze drifting upward again. I had told Rosie that some people were built for mere passion, while others, like her, were built for lasting love. I decided I was built for neither, and chose not to contemplate it further. The dark mood that had followed me from Plum Valley hovered. For the next few days, which were rainy, cold, and miserable, I struggled to come up with any shining revelations that would help the realm's cause. Anthony would ask Nicholas to contribute soldiers to the alliance as we had discussed, and I would contact Eleanor, but I knew there was more to be done. But a distraction came my way late that evening. The members of the alliance would be attending court to welcome Prince Nicholas. This meant I would have a chance to see if he was worthy of making Rosie forget about the boy she met in the woods and be happy in Yorth. Who wouldn't be happy in Yorth? And if Nicholas were anything like his father, he was a man of good spirits and good manners. In any case, as Queen of Yorth, Rosie would live around kind people and eat well, if we all survived to see her married. Weston snorted when Cyril brought us our formal livery, but we accepted it and donned the mail and black tunics like dogs putting on boots. While I hoped we wouldn't have to fight in such heavy wear at the tournament, I admired the white crest with its dark silhouette of a stag. Many men had died wearing this symbol. Many white crests had been washed with red. I found that I felt proud to bear it across my chest. We rode to the castle in a pale drizzle. Anthony took the lead as we walked in pairs up the endless marble stairs and took our place in the great hall amid the crowds awaiting the Prince of Yorth. Not long after we settled in at the banquet tables, the herald announced Nicholas's arrival. I agitated my fingers. I hadn't seen Rosie's betrothed since he was a boy. The tall, thin young man strode into the great hall, wearing a green cape clasped with gold over a tunic bearing the emblem of the gold sea serpent. His light brown hair was the colour of Yorth's beaches, his face that of a kind and well-bred gentleman, a face I had seen only days ago in Plum Valley. My jaw dropped. I then laughed aloud, and Maddock and Rook, sitting on either side of me, each gave me a sidelong glance. Bay Sandbourne. What a snarky little name Nicholas had assumed for Rosie, as if he wished to give himself away even while keeping his secret. How in the world had they stumbled across one another? I couldn't have arranged it any better myself, a thought that put me ill at ease. But Tamarice would have had to know where Rosie lived to send Nicholas there. If she had known, Rosie and Drell and even I would be dead or in her clutches by now. Perhaps it was truly coincidence, or fate, like the fate that had brought me to the water. I wanted to trust that fate, to be happy that Rosie was happy. I didn't have space in my heart for any more worries, not with Brack and Galgath and the mantle of political responsibilities resting on my shoulders. So I chose to trust fate for now, and interrogate Nicholas later. With at least one small weight lifted, I was able to enjoy the evening of feasting with my friends. Anthony sat at the head table with his family. He and Orphan looked regal in red and black, a far cry from their usual garb of worn brown breeches, dull tunics, and leather armour. It was strange to witness Anthony playing this role, to see his father put a hand on his shoulder and smile as though they were not estranged.